Hey everybody, happy Monday. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. It is me, Nicola. Welcome, and I trust that you've had a really amazing and awesome weekend. I spent the weekend was all about roller skating and roller derby this weekend. So I've just been happy as a clam. I've got to tell you, operating really in my fun space. So good morning, Annika. So I guess like one of the big things that I wanted to roll into today is the way that we're going to get through to the end of the year, but also looking at what you're going to need to do to get next year set up really nicely as well. Because the work that you do today, the work that you do this week is the stuff that is going to pay off in the next 2 to 3 months. So I'm going to use a bit of a roller derby analogy. So for those of you who don't know anything about roller derby, it's where we roller skate around a track, like a rink, roller skate around a track, and we've got to try and pass the opposing team in order to be able to get points. The opposition team has to try and stop my team from scoring those points. So it's a really athletic, full contact sport. Hey, Jacko, good morning. It's a full contact sport and it's a load of fun. But what's been really interesting is after having a couple of years off, coming back in, it's just like, okay, you know what, I'm pumped and excited. I've never been more motivated, but I haven't got the strength there yet in order to be able to be at competition level, which is fine. So my goal, and this is how it's going to relate, my goal is to be able to be comp ready for the first bout that hits into March next year. So what I've been looking at now, so I know that we're only still in October, we're about to click over into November. It's like, okay, so what do I need to do now in order to get really well set up for March, right? Because I know that the work that I do through November and December is going to pay off for me physically come March. So business is the same, right? It takes time to build momentum. It takes time to build strength. It takes time to build those new neural pathways, the muscles and everything else that's going to strengthen and support you going into the new year. So what goals do you want to be hitting in March next year? I know it can feel like it's miles away, but where do you want to be in March of 2019? What do you want to be doing? What are you doing? Workshops? Are you working with X number of clients? Are you putting on events? Are you attending a conference? What's your revenue goal? How do you want to feel? What is it going to look like for you? Because what you then need to do, I know that March feels a long way away, but the work that we do this quarter is going to pay off next quarter. So what do you need to do? How do you need to pull the finger out? So for me, one of the big things that I'm looking at in terms of business is looking at my marketing plan for next year. So I know based on what my end of the year goal is, I know what I need to have achieved in that first quarter of next year. So this month, next month and in December, I'm making sure that I've got everything set up because I want to build a really big momentum curve. Trust that makes sense. So how do you do that? How do you work out what it is that you want? Well, I think the easiest way of doing anything is by reverse engineering. So work out, we did this in a coaching course actually on Monday, a roller derby coaching course. So if we take a look at, all right, well, what's the outcome that we want? What's your goal? Right now, let's say that your goal for 2000 and do it for the big 2019 goal. It might be a revenue goal. It might be a number of clients goal. I don't really care. You need to work that out. What is that end goal for you? And then what do you need to have done that quarter before or in that last quarter in order for that to play out? Are you running a big event? Do you want to have 100 people in the room? Do you want 20 people in the room? Do you want to be running 2-day workshops? Do you want to be launching your podcast? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to have a book published for next year? So what needs to happen in that last quarter? And then what do you need to do before that in order for that to play out? And then what do you need to do before that in order for that to play out? And then that's going to give you what you need to do in the first quarter of next year in order for it all to stack in, right? So to me, if I know where I'm going, my motivation stays a lot higher. My ability to be able to work through fatigue, even though I rest, and like our motivation and the passion for our business tends to go like this, right? I don't know about you, it does for me. Some months I'm like riding on a high and everything is amazing, and then I'm like, oh, is this really what I want to be doing? And then it's like, oh yeah, that's right, this is really great. And then, oh, really, really, really. But we're always going up like this, right? It's like the pathway to success, instead of being, it's kind of like it's all over the shop. So for me, if I know where it is that I'm going, if I know what my big goals are, if I know what it is that I want to achieve, I find that my motivation remains higher more consistently, my passion remains higher more consistently, and therefore my output is a lot more consistent. Morning, Beck. Morning, Tamara. Morning, Peter. Thanks, Leanne. Said organising already. Skincare rep tells me that some salons start prepping for Christmas in August. Yeah, we usually do our planning for 2019 in August, September. We're looking at, okay, what needs to happen next year? What have we got going on? What are the key dates? What are the big kind of like rocks, the pillars in the calendar that just have to be worked around or have to be built in? So that's that. So today, what I want you to do, I know that it's early on a Monday morning and we're rolling on towards the end of the year. Have a think about what it is that you want for next year, and then reverse engineer those quarters so that you know what it is that you need to have implemented. And then take a look at what you're going to pull out in the next 8 weeks. There's only 8 weeks left, right? Or maybe 9, I don't know. It's like close to 8 between now and the end of the year. What effort are you going to put in now? Because here's what happens. Most people get to maybe around the middle of December and they just kind of go, oh, phew. I'm just going to ease on into the end of the year and I'll pick back up in maybe the middle of January, and then nothing happens until February. So everybody else winds down. Now, I can guarantee you that if you are a consultant, if you're a coach, if you're a mentor, if you're an author, if you're someone who is in the business of helping other people in that kind of a way, December can be, actually like that 3rd week of December can be your best sales week of the year. That's right. It can be your best sales week of the year. Even that week just before Christmas or the week of Christmas, depending on the day that it falls, that can be your best sales week of the year, because everybody else is sleeping. Yet humans still have problems that need to be solved, right? They can be distracted by Christmas, but they're also, if you're marketing in such a way that you can really help them see that you can set up their next year in a really great, solid way and help them progress early on in the year rather than waiting till February, then you've got a really good reason to be able to progress people through, even when everybody else is like snoozing at the wheel. All right. So that's it. Short, sharp, and sweet for today. Have a really amazing day. I've got a lot of setting up to do for my week this week. I'm really excited to see what you guys come out with over this next week. Now, I have got tomorrow we're going live at 11 for our Visible Season 5, which is, we're talking about perfectionism. Yay! I might talk a little bit more about what I learned on the weekend and how frustrated I get when I can't do things right the first time, because, I like being perfect and all that. Anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Have a really great day. Have a super productive day. Get out there and help some people, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.